This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Football Friday, presented by Abundance Energy with Jamie Lent and Joey McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com as we get you ready for the weekend. It's a busy weekend. Crazy busy weekend, isn't it?
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
There's a lot going on.
I mean,
right? No, it's good. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of college football on Saturday. Mm-hmm. That's pretty normal.
Yeah, and then
plenty of NFL games on Sunday. That's pretty normal. And then some high school football playoffs and high school basketball's going on. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, Friendship fell to Southlake last night, 49-14. Those among the games from last night in high school football. Also, Rawls took it on the chin to the Greyhounds. Greyhounds beat Jackrabbits last night, 49-6. I think that a Jackrabbit would hold up a little bit better against a Greyhound, but Greyhounds are fast too.
Yeah.
Greyhounds, I think, are more disciplined because they're accustomed to running around a track. I've never been to a dog race. I'm not really into that kind of stuff, the dog races.
I also have never been.
Okay, so I don't know if you have any opinion on that, but you can.
Might be entertaining once.
Right. Might be right. One of those things. I think I'd do that. I'd do that one time. Mm-hmm. Last night, Red Raider football with Joey McGuire. A new nickname for Gino Garcia. Gino Garcia. Gino Garcia, your kicker, who will be back next year, by the way.
Oh, that's great news. Now, that's the best news of the day.
Now, Coach McGuire said that. I guess what we should kind of put a little asterisk by that, he's eligible to return. I don't think he's going to transfer anywhere else. I think he's got it pretty good here. Mm-hmm. But, never say never when it comes to the transfer portal, right?
You just never know.
You just never know. Mm-hmm. But he is going to come back. His nickname now, Geno-matic. Geno-matic.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the Bassmatic or any of those other Matics that are out there.
Okay.
Why couldn't he have been German?
And then what would you call him?
Otto Magnet.
Automatic. Yeah. Geno-matic.
I can do dad jokes too.
Yeah. Geno-matic. The other good news from last night, Jacob Rodriguez will start at that linebacker spot that he's been playing. So would expect him to get more plays than maybe he did the previous week. But that's good news. It'll be his first start since the first start of the regular season. Here's the other thing. Tomorrow there will be 24 seniors that will go through Senior Day. Okay. Mm-hmm. Last year, of those seniors that went through Senior Day, 5 of them came back this year.
Okay.
Okay, so that's subject to change in terms of the guys that go away but then could come back. The other thing, and here was the curious comment from last night, Jamie. He said, Coach McGuire did, that Taj Brooks gave us our identity, and next year we're going to change that. We're going to define our identity coming out of camp. Now, this is tongue-in-cheek, but it's still, we all know this is true. He said, if I'd have known that, I'd have run Taj 30 times versus Wyoming. I mean, it's easy to go back and look at that and say, and we all have, hey, if you'd run the ball more, if you'd run the ball here, run the ball there, you'd have won that football game. But I thought the thing that was interesting was that we're going to define who we are before we come out of camp.
Okay. That really is a conversation for him and his coaches.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing the fan base or the players can do about that, right?
No, I mean,
when when you say we're going to define who we are, that means we're going to figure out our game plan. Right?
Yeah.
So he's talking to his coaching staff by telling you that.
Okay. I mean,
what can anybody else do about it?
Nobody else can do anything about it. I just thought it was interesting because we kind of talked about that a little bit about
the fact that we didn't know what their identity was.
Yeah. So I just thought that was, like I said, I just thought that was interesting. You know, when you look at that and go, okay, yeah, I think we'd all sign up for that.
Yeah, it wasn't anybody else that didn't define it. I mean, it was them.
Yeah, right. So that's
and part of that, I mean, maybe part of that is, I mean, we talked about yesterday the fact that we thought Taj would be good, but we didn't think he'd be this good. And so maybe they didn't realize, you know, how good they were going to be running the football. Okay, and so, you know, as a coaching staff kind of figures out once you start playing games, say, what are we good at? You know, maybe you would say that well, it kind of took too long for us to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, and it cost you. And it kind of sounds like that's what Coach McGuire is saying there. If I'd known it, we'd have run Taj 30 times against Wyoming. I think he's saying that. I don't, you know, I guess that's probably a difficult part to, you know, just watch what you're doing in inter squads and all that good stuff and be able to figure out what we are really good at. But that's why they're paid lots of money, and
sure,
they're you know, not everybody gets to be a Division I college football coach. You know, it's a hard job, but you know, that's you would have. I would guess that they would have wanted to figure that out sooner.
And the other thing too is, you know, you think about, you know, in the past you felt like you knew what your identity was in, you know, some of the previous administrations where you felt like, okay, this is who we are, this is what we do. But as personnel changes and as things change, schemes change, people figure out how to defend better against certain types of offenses. You got to kind of change to the moment, and sometimes your player personnel kind of changes too, and you kind of have to adapt to that as well. They're going to get Mason Tharp back tomorrow. Did not disclose what that injury was with regard to Mason Tharp, but just, you know, talked about his size and his height and how he helps them there, and then he also said how he helps Texas Tech with the run game too, and his ability to block. So they feel really good about that. Obviously, concerned about the UCF offense and what they do. These two teams have never met before. He called Central Florida the most explosive team, minus Oregon, that they have played. He also said that they're the fastest team since Oregon that they have played. So that was kind of, you know, interesting to me. He and Coach Gus Malzahn have a long relationship. They go back, both high school coaches, both were in high school coaching for 14 plus years. Each won multiple state championships. Coach Malzahn in Arkansas and Coach McGuire, of course, in Texas. He said that Gus Malzahn's stepmom taught in middle school in the Cedar Hill system. So he said that he and Coach Malzahn are close and have been close friends for quite some time. So just take that for what that's worth. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Had some other things as well. He also said this: Dadrian Taylor Demerson. He said last year if he had come out, didn't think he would have gotten drafted, but said this year he'll get drafted. They had 4 New Orleans Saints coaches there at their building yesterday, and next week the Saints general manager Mickey Loomis will be here in Lubbock to take a look at things. So
cool.
He's getting a lot of looks as well. 6:25 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Take them all morning long here on the Morning Drive on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. It is
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Football Friday, presented by Abundance Energy. Yates Flooring Center chat line is open. Visual Edge IT hotline is open. Hey, Chuck and JL. Is JL okay? Is that an improved kind of nickname for you? Just just going by initials.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Juan's lucky lady. Juan is a frequent listener and commenter on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Mm-hmm. We enjoyed listening to the coach's show. This is so funny. Coach had great things to say about Rabbit. Can you tell me which player is Rabbit? Thanks, guys. Love the show. Rabbit is Dadrian Taylor Demerson. And that's sometimes nicknames are used way more than the actual name that you don't really realize who they are. And like connecting the old dot-a-roos there. You'd almost be like, should they just put Rabbit on the back of his? Because Rabbit, that one is thrown around quite a bit. And J-Bug, and let's see what else. Those are the two. Those are the two that seem to kind of stick out at me. More defensive guys having nicknames. And now we have Geno-matic for Geno Garcia.
And last year we had Muddy.
Muddy, right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Although I think Muddy was the easiest one to decipher.
Yeah.
Because Waters was the back on the back of the jersey.
Sure.
Rabbit's a little bit more difficult to figure out.
Yes.
It's also way easier to say than
Dadrian Taylor Demerson.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dadrian Taylor DTD. Just trying to again connect dots. Not trying to make it any more confusing than it already is.
RABB.
IT.
Oh, we got a T. Hey, there we go. That's where the. Huh.
All right.
I think it's really bad when I just think it doesn't sound good when like the national television broadcasters are calling him Rabbit. I mean, call his real name.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to call somebody by their nickname, you better be pretty casual with them. Feels like, I don't know.
That's.
I guess or if it was like a nationally known nickname, like Shaquille O'Neal, you call him Shaq.
Yeah.
Okay. Nationally known. Okay. You're doing a broadcast on Fox and you're calling Taylor Demerson Rabbit.
Rabbit.
I don't know. If I were his parents, I would be like, use my kid's name, please.
He's got one.
Yeah. Let's use his name.
Okay, we've got a lot to get to today, but I wanted to get your opinion on this and just see what you think should happen to her. Sharissa Thompson yesterday admitted even more so than I guess she previously had that she has made up halftime reports. She's a sideline reporter for Fox and Amazon. I've said this before. I haven't been fired to saying it, but I'll say it again. I would make up the report sometimes because the coach wouldn't come out at halftime or it was too late and I didn't want to screw up the report. So I was just like, I'm going to make this up because first of all, no coach is going to get mad if I say, hey, we need to stop hurting ourselves. We need to be better on third down. We need to stop turning the ball over and do a better job of getting off the field. They're not going to correct me on that. So I'm like, it's fine. I'll just make up the report. She had previously admitted to embellishing reports to Erin Andrews on her podcast. But man, that is, I think she should be fired. One, she's not doing her job. She's basically, it's unethical. It's saying to every other sideline reporter calls into question. And, I think I think that she is, if she gets a pass on this, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I don't know how to. Let's be honest here, right? Can we live in reality and honesty?
Sure.
Right? Why do most sideline girls get their job?
Because they're pretty.
Yeah, it's not because of their journalistic integrity and their, stunning writing ability and interviewing skills or whatever. It's because they're pretty. Okay. This is not shocking to me, even one tiny single bit. It doesn't. I agree. If I'm the company that is employing her, I can't just have you sitting here lying all the time.
Right.
You've lost your credibility. I wonder why she felt like she needed to admit this. What's the backstory?
I don't know. I don't know if she's just trying to be funny or if she just thought it was Cute. Tracy Wolfson said this, and she's a sideline reporter. She's well respected. She said, this is absolutely not okay, not the norm, and upsetting on so many levels. I take my job very seriously. I hold myself accountable for all I say. I build trust with coaches and never make something up. I know my fellow reporters do the same.
And I would say that she's one that I do have trust in and think highly of. And so I could see where it would be offensive to her, extremely offensive to her.
Pam Oliver's another one that I really, really like. And
you've mentioned that a couple 400, 500 times.
Yeah. Let's bring it up again. Molly McGrath says this, young reporters, this is not normal or ethical. Coaches and players trust us with sensitive information. And if they know that you're dishonest and don't take your role seriously, you've lost all trust and credibility.
I agree. If she's just kind of laughing about this, like it's a funny story.
I did not hear her voice in the context of this. I've just seen quotes.
But even if she's saying it's funny, thinking it's funny, man, that's just a horrible look.
It is a horrible look.
And I can't imagine that any coaches would be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, and I get the fact that I
mean, we can all do the whole coach speak thing.
Sure.
We can figure it out.
Sure.
But you can't put words in the mouths of coaches.
I just don't see how they can put her back on the air.
I completely agree.
I don't care how good looking you are, and I don't care how well you are a wordsmith. There's plenty of others that are just like you and that can do the job without lying about it. And why did we need to know this? I mean,
that's the biggest issue here.
Why did we need to know?
She's admitting her crime.
Right.
How dumb do you have to be to do that?
That is the absolute truth.
Because she thinks that she's above it all, and that she thinks that she can just
about to find out
flip
she's
her
not.
hair and be okay.
I mean, how dumb do you have to be to admit your crimes?
Well,
Rule number 1, don't tell anybody your crimes.
Right. Well, here's the deal. I think she just thinks that she's above everybody else, that she can do that it's okay.
And I can totally see why the rest of the female sideline reporters are furious about this.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It is a Football Friday, presented by Abundance Energy. Take your thoughts, comments this morning on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that, or the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too, 806-771-0973. I mentioned that it's a Football Friday. It's also a Football Friday, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Huge
Big one tonight.
Huge one tonight for Tom Stone's Texas Tech Red Raider soccer program. They take on the 7th-seeded Princeton Tigers tonight. It'll be a 6:00 match. This is second round action of the NCAA Soccer Championships. There'll actually be an early game today between Alabama and North Carolina. The winner of that game will play the winner of the Tech Princeton game, and that'll be at 1:00 on Sunday. And regardless of a Tech win or loss today, there will be that match on Monday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon.
Sunday, yeah.
You hope. I mean, you want all those people that are over there working are like, man, if I'm going to work on Sunday, I sure want to work for the Red Raiders, on the field. I mean,
no question.
If not, it makes it a little bit harder. Texas Tech is 16-1-4 entering this match. Princeton is 10-5-3. The Red Raiders won over Florida Gulf Coast last Friday night, 1-0. Had a crowd of 1,800. I would imagine they'll have another big crowd as well tonight. And I was told last Friday night at the women's basketball games, I go 1,800. He was like, yeah, there were this person said, yeah, that wasn't overstated at all, because whatever we announce the crowd at, that's what we have to pay in terms of the NCAA, for the tickets. So they can't say, oh, there were 2,200 here tonight. No, they count the actual tickets because they got to settle up with the NCAA.
Okay.
So they can't puff up the crowd a little bit. So 1,800 were there. Alex Kerr with the winning goal, her 11th of the season, coming in the 4 seconds into the 74th minute. And so as far as Princeton is concerned, they advanced with a win over Michigan last week, 1-0. They went 10-5-3 overall. They went 4-2-1 in the Ivy League. And the Ivy League has 3 other teams that are in this soccer tournament.
Probably play pretty good soccer there.
I would imagine, yeah. Brown, Harvard, and Columbia are also made and won in the first round of the NCAA tournament. So good luck to those girls tonight as they try to advance to Sunday.
Which girls?
The Red Raiders soccer team.
Okay, we were just talking about Princeton there, and then you said good luck to those girls. I was just making sure we don't
want to wish them any luck.
No,
I was just making sure.
Not on the pitch, at least.
No.
Off the pitch, I hope they love Lubbock.
Right, and then get a good meal and have a safe trip home tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. All those things. So that'll be tonight at 6:00. And again, if you want to go to the early game, it's at 2:30 with Alabama and North Carolina. And I don't know, you hope that they can advance on to the third.
Coach Stone played for Duke.
North Carolina, yeah, he played for Duke, yeah.
So you think there are 3 teams that are like changing in a locker room there, and then for North Carolina, he just put like a little tent out there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What do you think Coach Stone did?
Yeah.
Let loose some rattlesnakes in their locker room or something.
Sure. Yeah. Stink bomb.
I think if you play for Duke, you probably. The dislike for North Carolina probably never goes away, right?
I would think so.
Even though you're way removed over.
I would think
playing in the Big 12 and coaching in the Big 12 and all that, but that whole distaste or dislike of North Carolina, never really goes away.
No,
so
I can't imagine that it would.
So I wonder what kind of hijinks he's got going on over there.
Probably a big giant blue D.
He sees a Tar Heel and just kind of probably makes his skin crawl a little bit.
Probably so, yeah.
Okay. Basketball last night for the Red Raiders. They win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi 73-64. High point man was Chance McMillan. He had 17 on the night for the Red Raiders, who next will be in action in the Bahamas to take on Villanova. So the competition is going to get substantially stiffer, substantially fast here, Jamie.
It's like Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
No, Tuesday or Wednesday?
It'll be the 22nd. I believe that is Wednesday.
Okay.
I believe. I'll do a quick look here. But anyway, the bottom line is, I was thinking about this, this morning a little bit, going 22nd is Wednesday. I was thinking about this, going, okay, thinking about like previous regimes, whether it was, Chris Beard or even Mark Adams or Tubby Smith, the last 3 coaches, in the early games of the season, it seemed like there were times where you struggled, like to get to the first half, but then you poured it on in the second half. But there were times in these early games where you're just kind of going, hey, but this one feels a little bit different, just because you haven't shot the ball very well from the outside.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's the biggest factor. I mean, you still scored 73 points last night. Mm-hmm. So it's not as if you, right? It's not as if you didn't, really struggled to score and then you mucked it up and won 51-47. I mean, you put up 73. That's not a terrible number. It doesn't look super cohesive right now. I don't think it looks terrible. I think you can see individual skills. I think you just have to wait for these guys to kind of mesh together. Mm-hmm. I just don't think they're there yet. I didn't, Coach McCaslin talked about they caused us problems because they played really hard. I didn't feel like his team didn't play hard.
Yeah, I thought they scrapped for the ball. There's no question.
I just doesn't look like you're clicking on all cylinders now, and I think it would be unrealistic to expect that you would. Although it does feel like, and we've kind of become spoiled a little bit as Red Raider fans, in that you continue to change the roster over and over and over every year, and you've had a decent amount of success doing that and becoming a good basketball team. But I mean, that doesn't mean that every single year it's going to be that way. I think it just takes a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes too, it's harder to play teams like Texas A&M Corpus Christi that are coming in and understand that hey, you win a game like this, and man, it kind of makes your season, so to speak, or at least helps to make your season.
Am I being a jerk if I mentioned it didn't bother Houston?
No.
Yeah, it didn't seem real hard for them.
No. But what I was going to say about that is sometimes I think it's hard for teams that are running offense or running defense to play these kind of scrappy teams. And I'm not saying that A&M Corpus Christi played street ball last night. I think your first opponent did quite a bit, and I think you got kind of drawn into that. And sometimes it's harder to play sometimes against undisciplined teams than it is against disciplined teams.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
And
but Houston beat them by 30.
Yeah, no doubt. And to me, the most concerning thing to me about this team right now is your 3-point shooting.
It's a big part of college basketball. There's no way around it. You have to be able to make shots from behind the arc, unless you have some sort of dominant inside game, and even then, you still want to be able to shoot the three. So, yeah, I think it is a little bit concerning right now. I don't know if we are at the point where we're like, hey, this is going to be the Achilles heel of this team, or, because I think Pop's going to end up being a great 3-point shooter throughout the course of the year. He's just not shooting it well right now, and he's kind of your lead dog. So you need him to be able to make those shots, and maybe it becomes a little bit more contagious. But I don't know. I'm not ready to say that they're going to be a terrible 3-point shooting team, but that's something that jumps out at you after the last 2 games.
Yeah, and the other thing that has jumped out at me is your ability to get to the free throw line and keep your opponent off the free throw line. I mean, last night Red Raiders were 20 of 27. Their opponent was 5 of 9. The previous opponent was like 1 of 1.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
All right, gentlemen, we're going Big 12 football today.
Nice.
I want you to tell me who you think has the best chance for an upset this weekend.
Okay.
Because there are a few of them that I think would be really cool if they happened.
Okay. Let me get to my Big 12 schedule here.
So you got BYU hosting Oklahoma. So obviously BYU would be the answer if you went that route.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia hosting Cincinnati. Cincinnati would be the answer there.
Mm-hmm.
TCU and Baylor are playing. There's no upset there. I mean, I don't know who's going to win that game, but it feels like it's pretty much a toss-up. Houston hosting Oklahoma State. That would be another one.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech and UCF. Do you guys know what the line is?
It's 2.5.
2.5 by the Red Raiders. But to me, that's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you could go Kansas hosting Kansas State. Both teams are ranked, but I would think it's an upset if Kansas wins.
Yeah, K-State's favored by 9.5. So,
yeah.
So that's
crazy.
That's a lot of points.
Number.
Yes, it is a huge number.
Do you get Jason Beam back or no?
No. You got the third stringer. That's the last that I heard was the third stringer is going to start.
Iowa State hosting Texas. That's the one that's the most
7.5
intriguing to me.
Okay.
Which team has the best chance for an upset?
Okay. I think it's Cincinnati and West Virginia.
You were going to go there.
I think Cincinnati beats West Virginia tomorrow. I don't think West Virginia can handle their success, and I think that this will the drumbeat. And I'm going to root for West Virginia in this game, but I just think that until you get over that hump and prove that you can win a game that you're supposed to win, it makes it's hard. So I'll take Cincinnati over West Virginia.
Trying to decide between Oklahoma going to BYU. If this game was at a neutral site or the other way around, it wouldn't even be on the radar.
You'd pick Oklahoma hands down?
Yeah. But it being at Brigham Young, that gives me pause. And Oklahoma State at Houston with Dana coaching for his job. It's going to be a huge game for them there. And the knowledge that both of those two coaches have for one another, I could see that upset happening, especially with how Oklahoma State played last week. I think I'm going to go BYU beating Oklahoma is the most likely of those two.
Wow.
But I wouldn't be shocked to see Houston beat Oklahoma State.
BYU is a 24-point underdog. So you're taking BYU.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to give you the people what they want.
Iowa State over Texas?
I'm picking Iowa State over Texas. Yes, sir.
Give the people what they want.
I am. There's just something
You have a
about that
feeling?
game. Well, there's always a Texas game that they.
I mean, they only scored 3 points in the second half of the TCU game last week, and in the first half, at the end of the second quarter, they gave them a touchdown after basically a turnover, and the other one was, I mean, they went boom boom right there. So I mean, Texas was very fortunate to win that game.
Yeah, I'm taking Iowa State. Just feels like whenever they travel to Manhattan or to Ames. Night game, cold. I don't know. Something says the Longhorns are going to somehow let this one get away. You watch, Texas is going to win by 40. So I'm taking that one. I knew you were going to take West Virginia to lose over Cincinnati. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't know which way Jeff would go. Oklahoma State against Houston. I don't know. Man, you would think Oklahoma State would bounce back after that abysmal performance last Saturday, but maybe that just, I don't know, got their dauber down. But they're still in a great position to play for the Big 12 championship, so they should be highly motivated. You would think.
You would think.
And then, of course, Jeff made one of my favorite sports comments. I always love this one. You know, he's coaching for his job. How does he coach differently? We all say it as sports fans. We all say it. I'm not trying to pick on Jeff. How does he coach differently?
Yeah.
You go the extra mile. You spend the extra 10 minutes looking at film.
I just feel like coaches doing that all the time anyway. I just don't know.
You give that 110% instead of just 100%.
I mean, is he like moving on the sidelines quicker? I know I'm thinking about Bob Knight and his game faces.
Sure. That was funny. I almost wonder if Dana's already lost his job.
I think he has.
Yeah. I'm not sure even getting to a bowl game would be enough to save his job. He's too angry over there. I mean, it's just.
He doesn't seem to love it, and they don't seem to love him.
Right. So it seems like
they're not winning.
And they're not winning. Right. Somebody points out on the Yates Flooring Center chat line about Jonathan Brooks and how Texas doesn't have him anymore. Yeah, you're exactly right.
That's a great point.
I mean, that makes it's going to make it really, really, really difficult for them. Syntax Hank says this: upset winners Iowa State, BYU, and KU.
3 of them.
Man, I hope you're right. Even if 2 out of 3, just give me the first one and the second and the last one. That'd be great.
Here's the correct answer to your question, Jamie. What does it look like when you're coaching for your job? Dana drinks the second Red Bull.
What? Somebody brings this up. What's your take of the blue bonnet battle thing for TCU and Baylor?
I don't know what it means. Are there
That's what
any
they're calling
blue bonnets in between Waco and
I don't know.
Fort
When I think blue bonnets, I think of the Blue Bonnet Bowl in Houston at the Astrodome on New Year's Eve. That's what I think. That's what I think of. And the Houston Cougars, under Bill Yeoman, always played on New Year's Eve in the Blue Bonnet Bowl against somebody at the Astrodome.
I mean, my take on it is it's TCU and Baylor. It doesn't really affect us.
Couldn't care less.
So I don't care what they call their game.
Okay.
I call it I wish both would lose bowl.
Okay. That's fair.
I guess I'll be rooting for Baylor this weekend. I don't know.
In games like that, I always have to get into the game and watch
to see where my heart takes me.
And there'll be a play that'll happen. I'll be like, nope, I want you guys to lose now.
Yeah.
That's how that was the play. Now I want you to lose.
Or some defensive back will watch a ball be thrown 30 yards out of bounds, and he'll start pumping his chest, and I'm like, I want that guy to lose.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. We come to you this morning, Jamie, Jeff, and I, from the First United Bank studio. It is a Football Friday presented by Abundance Energy. And we got football on the airwaves tonight. We got Lubbock Cooper taking on Aledo. Aledo's pretty salty. We know that. That'll be at 7 o'clock tonight as the kickoff from Memorial Stadium there in Wichita Falls.
And remember, officials, Aledo got one. A call from you guys a couple years back. So, I don't know. Maybe a call or two that could swing towards the Pirates would... Yes, it would be appreciated, and two, it would seem due.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Do, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Do.
So let's make good on that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's make good on that.
But you don't have to call it a makeup call.
No. We have Optimum Game Day Live coverage for you tomorrow as the Red Raiders take on UCF. 7 o'clock is in the morning for Optimum Game Day Live. Mañana morning, we'll have it for you here on Double T 97.3 and Double T973.com. The kick is at 4. After the game, it's the Double T 97.3 Coors Light post-game show from the Overton Hotel and Conference Center. Garrett Luft will be there. I have still have trinkets. I have a sweet Coors Light cooler that somebody's going to win. Okay.
Do you give one away every week?
I think I had 5.
Okay.
I had 5, and I've given away 4. And I've had these nice little go coolers, like the kind of little kind of carry with you, and then koozies. I've had sunglasses. I've given all that kind of stuff away, and I'll have more of that for the post game tomorrow. Nice. And generally,
handshakes.
And handshakes.
Business cards.
Conversation, of course.
Okay.
Of course, I'll have a business card on me. And handshakes, and I'll be the guy in the Double T 97.3 shirt with the Coors Light in his hand. So that's part of my role. I've got the
NASCAR Chuck.
I've got the guy over at the gal over at I've got the gal over at the Overton. I'll tell her today when I see her because the guys will be there. Dickens and Gus will be there today.
Is there anything in it?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Coors Light in it.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you were just repping the brand. Or
no, I'm actually consuming it.
Because when I was in college and I would go to the club, I would buy myself a beer.
Oh, a beer?
And just so I didn't have people all night long trying to buy me one and get me.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm good. I got one. I carry the same one around all night long.
Well, I have
never have a single drink of
I have my gal over the Overton. I'll tell her today. I said, when you see me on Saturday, you bring me a Coors Light, okay? So she's...
Don't be late.
Don't be late. Don't be late.
Don't you know who I am?
Spray me one. I take care of her very well. Just bring me a Coors Light. I'll be good. I cannot have any today because I've got a Lady Raider basketball game.
Don't ask me if I found everything okay if I didn't.
Tyson says this. I swear it's a life goal to get a business card from Chuck. Hey, bring it on, Tyson. Come on. Come over to the Overton tomorrow night after the ball game. It's great fun. I'll tell you that Thursday night after the TCU game, man, that place was rocking. It was going. It was on.
People in this town love to beat TCU.
It was going. It was going. So look forward to seeing everybody. Garrett Luft is your humble host. He'll and I'm if we win the ball game tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure everybody knows that we won the ball game tomorrow because sometimes he's you have to remind him, hey, we did win the ball game. I know that maybe things didn't look quite the way that you wanted it to look. Sometimes he's a coach at heart, right? Because he was a coach. So he sees things in a different vein, probably in a better vein, probably in a more accurate vein, probably, in a more kind of football fundamental kind of vein. And me, I'm like, hey, did we win the ball game? Rock on, man. Let's party. I don't care how we got there. Let's go. Let's go. What concerns you the most about this game tomorrow?
Just that kind of, I guess that UCF is hitting their stride right now. They're a confident team. They're they're healthier. Coach McGuire talked about both teams really being as healthy as they've been all season long, and just feels like they're clicking right now.
It does. It does. They're 8th in the country and 2nd in the Big 12 in total offense. They average almost 495 yards per ball game. They've gone over 400 in 7 of their last 10 games. They're 3rd nationally in rushing at 234 yards a game. They've rushed for 200 or more yards in 7 of their 10 games. And so, you look at this and go, but I feel, I don't know, Jamie, I feel really good about your defense and how it performed, especially in the red zone. And Coach McGuire talked about that last night. He said, and I don't know if these numbers are accurate. I'm just going to quote what he said. He might have been just a little bit facetious because he talked about what he was the most pleased with or most impressed with was just how his defense performed in the red zone last week and really inside the 10-yard line. He said, last year we were ranked 9th in red zone defense. This year we're like 98th. Now, again, I don't know what the specific number is, but he was really proud of how they played in the red zone, how they created a turnover. And he said just to be able to stand up and make KU kick field goals was huge in that ball game last Saturday in Lawrence. He was asked if he was nervous on the Gino Garcia kick there at the end. And remember, he called him Gino-matic at the beginning. He said, extremely nervous. He said, I don't know if I even watched. But he said, and I think they're putting something together where you see this. He said there's a montage. He didn't say the word montage, but that's really kind of what it is. A video of him leaning, and then of Patrick Mahomes leaning with his wife, leaning, when the kick was up because Mahomes was on the sideline, and he just said it was really cool. He goes, it's really cool because we're showing the team that. He goes, I think we're going to put that out there, but I'd love to see that, just the way that everybody's kind of trying to kind of coax that kick through the pipes, right? Mm-hmm. But it's cool to see that, like Mahomes. I mean, here's a guy that on the sideline, passionate, wearing his Red Raider gear or supporting what he can, and very much into the ball game on his bye week for his alma mater. So that was.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.